Good morning friends. Today we discuss about BJT, bipolar junction transistor. In the introduction part, the transistor was invented in 1948 by three scientists John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, William Shockley at the Bell Laboratory in USA. The invention of the transistor is completely revolution in the field of electronics engineering and industry and enhanced to expand the effort to utilize many other devices like FET field effect transistor, MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, UJT unipolar junction transistor, SCR semiconductor control rectifier. Transistor has replaced bulky vacuum tubes to in performing many jobs. The size of transistor is very small and teeny as compared to the vacuum tubes. When a third element is added to the crystal diode in a such a way PN junction are formed, the resulting device is known as transistor. As shown in the figure, P material is added in the crystal of N-type diodes, N-type material. Transistor is capable of achieving amplification of weak signal, which is also known as signal conditioning. A transistor consists of two PN junctions formed by sandwiching either P or N type between a pair of opposite types. As a result, we have two configurations of transistor: NPN transistor, PNPN transistor. An NPN transistor is composed of N type two semiconductors separated by thin section of P type. However, in PNP transistor is formed by two P section by a thin section of N type. So the figure is already shown in the slide. Like we have two configuration NPN and PNP transistor. So P type is added to N type of semiconductor and N is added to the P type of semiconductor. So overall important points as discussed earlier, there are two PN junction. One is NP and other is PN, and the middle section is very thin layer. So it should be noted. As the transistor has PN junction is forward bias and other junction is reverse bias, as we already discussed in the case of diode, to make diode in forward bias, P-type semiconductor is connected to the positive terminal of battery and N-type of material is connected to a negative terminal of battery. So in same case, there are two junctions. So one junction is forward bias and other junction is reverse bias. The forward junction has low resistance path, whereas reverse bias junction has high resistance path. As already discussed, the weak signal is introduced in low resistance circuit and output is taken from high resistance. So input junction, that is P, suppose we take the example of NPN, the input junction like NP offer a high resistance and low resistance, and PN junction offer a high resistance. So its mean transistor transfer a signal from low resistance to high resistance. So if we focus about the word transistor, the prefix trans means signal transferring property and esters it a solid element in some journal family with resistor. So transfer plus resistor is equal to transistor. Basic construction of junction transistor. BJT is basically a silicon or germanium crystal containing three separate regions: emitter, base, collectors. BJT is also known as three terminal device. So we discuss each one. So first of all, emitter. This supplies a charge carriers. Charge carriers means electrons or holes. The emitter is always forward biased with respect to base so as it can supply a large number of majority carriers to the junction. In case of NPN BJT, forward bias emitter supplies electrons to the junctions, whereas in the case of PNP transistor, forward bias emitter supplies holes to the junction. It may be noted that emitter is heavily doped region because it supply charge carriers. So please focus on the figure. Emitter base collector. The emitter base is forward bias and base collector is reverse bias, and is already mentioned that for emitter is connected to the negative terminal. N type of emitter is connected to the negative terminal in order to make a forward bias, and base is connected to the positive terminal in order to make forward bias. Emitter and base terminal, and similarly base collector region is reverse bias. N type is connected to the positive terminal and base is connected to a